I'm Dr. Rita McGuire. I'm one of the co-founders of Wakanna for Life, as well as the Chief Medical Officer. And tonight I'm excited to bring the topic of cannabis and breast cancer. We know that October is the month that is the recognition of National Breast Cancer Awareness. And so tonight we're going to bring some awareness as it relates to cannabis, CBD, and breast cancer. So first I'm going to start out, as people are still jumping on the line, I want to start out with a pretty compelling video of Olivia Newton-John as it relates to cannabis. So that's how we'll get started.
We are back with Olivia Newton-John, who is opening up about her second battle with cancer after being in remission for 25 years. Now, Olivia says there are two therapies that are transforming the way she thinks about health. I want to get to those, but just to get us started, 25 years ago when you were diagnosed, you went through chemotherapy.
Yes.
This time around, you decided, I'm not into it anymore.
Well, it really wasn't even recommended for me, but I don't read statistics because I don't believe in reading them, because then you become part of that. And I'm not a statistic, I'm me. So I don't know what is usually done for people, but they did initially put me on estrogen blockers, but I reacted so badly to them that I took myself off them because it made me really depressed. And again, that wasn't quality of life. So I use a lot of natural therapies for that, and use seaweeds and all the natural things that I can for estrogen blockers, and broccoli and cruciferous vegetables and all that. And there's a lot of products that have natural estrogen blockers.
It takes a little while to learn them. You're blessed to be married to someone who's an expert in it. But,
yes.
But I'm interested in part because I have friends who have advanced stages of breast cancer and other cancers as well. And we're all hoping, and I actually believe that in many instances, these will become chronic illnesses. You may die 25 years with your cancer,
yes,
in the future, but you won't die from the cancer. Is that your hope?
Yeah, I believe in that. I don't believe in this fighting cancer thing, because I believe that creates inflammation, anger. It's more like, I'm going to win over you. I don't need you, right? So,
right.
Yeah.
The Jedi mind trick.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Medicinal marijuana is something that our audience knows I've been aggressively touting as something we should study more.
Yes.
Has it played a role in your recovery?
Yes, medicinal cannabis is a big part of my recovery. And initially, my husband is a medicine man, really, a plant medicine man, and he grows, because we live in California, so we can. He grows cannabis for me and makes tinctures, and the pain relief was incredible, even from the first time. Even just a few drops of the tinctures made such a difference to me that I totally believe in it.
But our government says it doesn't work. Haven't you read their reports?
Yeah, well, I know it does. And I've been fighting for it too in Australia, where the laws are even stricter than here. I'm living proof that it works. And they're doing studies in Israel. You probably know about them. And my husband is actually going to Israel next month to talk to the scientists over there, because they are curing cancers with cannabis. And different strains react to different illnesses. So it's not just cancer. It's Parkinson's and MS and all the autism and epilepsy we know for children, of course, but really it's a healing herb.
Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. And remember to check back often to see what's new.
A powerful, powerful video. Hopefully you were able to see the entire video. If not, it's on YouTube, where Olivia Newton-John speaks about her second bout of breast cancer, where she declined the chemotherapy route and actually used cannabis. So that is our topic tonight, and we're going to go over some statistics. Breast cancer is diagnosed every 29 seconds around the world and every 2 minutes in the US. 1 out of every woman in the US will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year. It's estimated that about 87% of people will survive 5 or more years after being diagnosed with breast cancer. It's estimated around 2.8 million breast cancer survivors are in the US. And we all know that the leading cause of death in women is breast cancer after lung cancer. So the chance of a woman dying from early stage breast cancer is estimated to be about 3%. You'll see some of the incidence of breast cancer per 1,000 cases by race. We see the white Caucasian, followed by African American, Asian Pacific Islander, Hispanic, and American Indian Alaskan natives have the lowest incidence. Even in Illinois here, we see that there's a sharp rise even in medical cannabis applications as cancer patients are requesting cannabis to be used as a complementary therapy when they're being treated with chemotherapy or radiation. We see here that breast cancer can cause horrible pain. We talk about even the metastasis to bone, the nausea, the vomiting from therapy. We're really finding so many people that are really pursuing cannabis to be part of their treatment. So let's make something clear. Let's get the confusion out of the air, because a lot of people still can't understand the different species that the cannabis has. So one species that the cannabis family includes is the hemp species. The hemp species is the species that has a very high CBD level and very trace amounts of THC level. The marijuana species, on the other hand, has a high level of THC and a low level of CBD. And we'll talk about what all those words mean, but specifically you should know on this line that we're talking about the CBD that is extracted from the hemp species of the cannabis plant. So CBD stands for cannabidiol, and cannabidiol is the second most common cannabinoid found in different strains of the cannabis plant. Again, it's the most common cannabinoid found in the hemp plant. And unlike THC, which we know as the compound that gives us the high and the euphoria, CBD has no mind-altering effects. It has a lot of medicinal properties that we'll talk about tonight. And in fact, I've been using CBD in my practice in conjunction with traditional forms of treatment when I'm dealing with patients. So what exactly are cannabinoids and how do they work? Well, interesting enough, our body produces cannabinoids, just like the plant produces cannabinoids. When our body produces cannabinoids, they're called endocannabinoids. In fact, they are important to maintain the stability and health of our body. When our body gets knocked out of balance, how does it get knocked out of balance? Well, the air we breathe, the water we're drinking, the food we're eating, these external factors cause the endocannabinoids that our body produce become deficient. And when they become deficient, this is what can cause pain, discomfort, numerous illnesses and disease. Now, the phytocannabinoids, on the other hand, what the plant produces are the CBD and the THC, and these are from the plant. Again, these cannabinoids, along with the body producing cannabinoids, are important to keep our body in balance. So let's look at the full spectrum cannabinoids. We see CBD is truly the hero when we talk about the plant. CBD, again, has multiple medicinal properties. CBD is an antibacterial. CBD inhibits cancer cell growth, and specifically, since we're talking about breast cancer tonight, we will get into the studies that show how CBD inhibits cancer cell growth. CBD is neuroprotective. It promotes bone growth. It reduces seizures and convulsions. In fact, that's when CBD really came out in the media, when we learned about a little girl named Charlotte Fiji who had a seizure disorder, and it wasn't until her parents introduced her to CBD that decreased her seizures. CBD also reduces blood sugar levels. It reduces the function in the immune system, so it's great for those who have autoimmune diseases like lupus and fibromyalgia and rheumatoid arthritis. It also reduces inflammation, and that's really important when we're talking about breast cancer. We know that breast cancer stems from a lot of inflammation in natural healthy cells that become inflamed and cancerous. It also reduces the arterial blockage. It reduces small intestinal contractions. It reduces nausea and vomiting. Again, another property where CBD is used when there is treatment like chemotherapy being used for breast cancer. Those patients typically have a lot of nausea and vomiting. It also relieves pain. We talk about when cancer metastasizes, that pain can be relieved by CBD. We know that people who are diagnosed with cancer or have cancer have a lot of anxiety and stress. So CBD relieves anxiety. It also slows bacterial growth. It suppresses muscle spasms. It's tranquilizing. It treats psoriasis and other skin disorders, and also is vasorelaxant. Well, let's look at delta-9 THC. Delta-9 THC is another cannabinoid that the plant makes. That's the one that gets us high. That's the one that has the mind-altering euphoria. Well, how is it related to treatment with those who have breast cancer? Well, delta-9 THC reduces vomiting and nausea as well, which is important when we're dealing with treatment options and modalities like chemotherapy. It also relieves pain. More importantly, THC stimulates the appetite. So those who are diagnosed with breast cancer and other cancer truly have an issue with an appetite. So THC stimulates the appetite, and THC also suppresses muscle spasms. And then you can also see the other cannabinoids that the plant makes have other medicinal properties that the body needs as it relates to cancer treatment. Look at CBG. CBG aids in sleep. That's a big problem as well when we're dealing with cancer therapy. So the full spectrum cannabinoid means that the full plant and the very important cannabinoids, along with the terpenes and the flavonoids, truly make a very big impact on a cellular level. Well, how does CBD and the other cannabinoids work? Well, the cannabinoids work by interacting with the most vital regulatory system in our body. It's called the human endocannabinoid system. I always laugh because this system was discovered when I was in medical school in the early 1990s. This system is very important in keeping the body in balance. The system is made up of receptors, CB1 and CB2. These receptors are found in the brain and the central nervous system. CB2 receptors are found in the immune system and the periphery. But more importantly, these receptors are found on almost every cell surface in our body. So when we take in cannabinoids like CBD and THC and CBN and CBG, it's almost like a lock and key effect where the cannabinoids come in and they unlock those receptors that are out of balance. So it's really important to understand that truly there is a science on how CBD and the other cannabinoids work in our body, and that science is the human endocannabinoid system, and every single human has one. So let's talk more specifically about cannabinoids and breast cancer. Again, we already stated that 1 out of every 8 women will develop invasive breast cancer throughout the course of their life, which makes breast cancer one of the most prevalent health concerns among women in the world. According to Discover CBD, studies on the effect of cannabinoids on various types of cancer, not only breast cancer, but uterine cancer, prostate cancer, colon cancer. These studies are increasing each and every year, specifically since the 2018 Farm Bill has been passed. More and more teaching hospitals and research institutions are doing research on CBD and cancer. We know that cannabinoid therapy, CBD, THC, these therapies help battle side effects, the side effects that many who receive chemotherapy endure: pain, nausea, and insomnia. In 2015, the National Cancer Institute stated through their studies that there was substantial evidence that cannabinoids have a direct effect on killing cancer cells. Since 2015, the number of cancer patients interested in pursuing cannabinoid therapies have grown. Now we see more than 74% of cancer patients are interested in learning more about how cannabinoids can help. So the research is a little too early to say that CBD can be used solely as a cancer treatment. However, there are many studies that show that CBD can be used as a complementary therapy. Let's look at, again, appetite stimulant. We talked about that it is the delta-9 THC along with CBD that help improve and maintain the appetite of those who are undergoing treatment for cancer. What about pain relief? Well, we talked about the CB2 receptors and the CB1 receptors, and quite honestly, all the receptors that are found throughout the entire body that can decrease inflammation, that can decrease pain, that can decrease pressure on internal organs and nerve injury in those who have cancer. Even nausea, we see that chemotherapy causes a lot of nausea or vomiting, and it's the CBD and the THC, remember, that has the anti-nausea effects. So it's really important to understand that we're not saying that CBD can be used solely as a cancer treatment, but the studies show that CBD absolutely can be used as a complementary therapy in those who are undergoing treatment for cancer. To date, there's no large clinical trials. In fact, these clinical trials will be getting larger and larger since now CBD or hemp on a federal level is legal, but there are some small pilot studies that do exist that state that there is those users of cannabis, they have a 45% lower risk of developing cancers such as bladder cancer. Again, research shows that cannabinoids do inhibit not only the proliferation and the metastasis, but the growth of different types of tumors in both animal models and test tubes. So really exciting. So when we look at the breast, we can see that cannabis truly can decrease the inflammation. In breast cancer, there's a lot of inflammation, there's a lot of compression of the tissue during the growth of this cancer. It causes debilitating pain. Some of the common treatment options, again, are chemotherapy and radiation. When those patients get chemotherapy and radiation, there's a lot of additional inflammation and breakdown of healthy tissue. There's a lot of complaints of loss of appetite, nausea, and pain. And again, studies have shown that cannabis can not only slow the tumor growth, it can control nausea and vomiting, it can promote healthy appetite, but it can also reduce anxiety. It can also reduce inflammation. It can help those patients sleep. It can help control depression. It can also reduce pain that's due to neuropathy. One of the biggest side effects to chemotherapy and radiation is nerve damage. Neuropathy causes debilitating pain. So we can see all of the studies that show the beneficial effects that CBD and THC and the other cannabinoids have in those who are getting treatment for cancer. So some of the ways to reduce your risk for breast cancer, well, one is keeping a healthy weight. 2, exercising regularly. getting enough sleep, limiting alcohol intake, and studies have shown those who have breastfed their babies have a lower incidence and reduce their risk of breast cancer. Breast cancer may also be linked to digestion. This is a really big thing to understand as we get into CBD. It's important to understand you need to have lifestyle modifications in addition to CBD to decrease your risk of breast cancer. There was a study that was done in 1989 out of the American Journal of Public Health. And what they suggested was that those women and men, because men get breast cancer as well, that had a decrease in their frequency of bowel movements and firm stool consistency had a slighter increased risk of breast cancer. So those women and men who are constipated, who have very infrequent bowel movements, have an increased risk of breast cancer. Why is that? Well, it's because when you have stool that does not come out, it increases the formation and absorption of fecal mutagens. Those are substances that cause the DNA to mutate and to turn into cancer. This study also showed that women and men who had 3 or more bowel movements a day appeared to cut their risk of breast cancer in half. So I can't stress enough how important it is to incorporate a plant-based diet, to make sure that you're having frequent bowel movements, that you address constipation, because absolutely this has been a big link to breast cancer. Vitamin D deficiency and obesity is another risk factor for breast cancer. They did a study published in Menopause magazine where vitamin D supplementation may reduce cancer risk as well as breast cancer mortality. And how does it do that? Well, vitamin D has been shown to stop breast cancer cells from growing, especially in women with lower BMIs. The study concluded that the postmenopausal women had an increased risk of vitamin D deficiency, as well as, when we become postmenopausal, we start to gain a lot of adipose. That increases our risk of breast cancer. So it's important to know that if you have a vitamin D deficiency, that needs to be restored into a normal range to decrease your risk for breast cancer. Again, a high BMI, a BMI over 30, 32, obese BMIs, again, incorporating a plant-based diet, exercise, sleep, supplementing with vitamin D, having frequent bowel movements, all decrease your risk for breast cancer. So CBD has been shown in studies that it may be able to help. We talked about slow down the progression of breast cancer cells, and it does that also by elevating an endocannabinoid called anandamide. Now, anandamide is found in high levels in breast milk. It's found in beer hops and dark chocolate. So studies have been shown that if you have a normal endocannabinoid level of anandamide, that will also help reduce and slow down the progression of cancer cells. So here are some specific studies that are related to breast cancer. It shows in one study out of the Journal of Pharmacology that CBD actually inhibit breast cancer tumor growth in rats. Another study in 2011 by the Molecular Cancer Therapeutics reported that CBD may work similarly to chemo when it comes to tumors. Imagine that. This study also stated that there's potential use for CBD as an anti-neoplastic agent or as an anti-cancer agent. In 2011, 2014, and 2017, Studies confirm similar results related to aggressive forms of breast cancer. They found that CBD can control aggressive breast cancer cells and inhibit the proliferation and metastasis with CBD. Another study that was from Molecular Cancer Therapeutics in 2007 actually shows that CBD represents one of the first non-toxic exogenous agent that can be used. So one of the first organic non-toxic agents that can be used in very aggressive metastatic breast cancer. So the science is there, the studies are there. It's interesting to know that, you know, CBD along with THC and the other cannabinoids along with cannabis is now being instituted in our big university here, University of Chicago. It is the forefront of medicine, and they have embraced CBD in their oncology department. So it's really exciting to share that information with your physician, to share this information with those loved ones that are taking therapy for breast cancer, chemotherapy or radiation, or those who may be a survivor of breast cancer, or those who may have just been diagnosed. Again, these statements have not been approved by the FDA. If you are on any medication, if you are under a doctor's care, please consult with your physician before starting CBD. So cannabis oil can help fight cancer. So at this time, I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and we're going to get into some of our products that we have here at Wakanna. Again, if you're on the line for the first time and you've been invited by your guests, I want to make sure early on that you understand that it's important to contact that person that invited you on the line, because there's a lot of great information that they're going to give you in addition to the information that I'm giving you here. So let's see if we can get the screen larger here. So we're going to talk about some of our products. Again, CBD is an abbreviation for cannabidiol. In 2018, President Trump allowed hemp to be descheduled. He signed a bill called the 2018 Farm Bill. And what that Farm Bill states is that hemp is no longer a Scheduled I drug. It is no longer a federally illegal drug. So now we are able to cultivate, grow, consume, and sell CBD. Again, our CBD that is legal in the United States must be extracted from the hemp species of the cannabis plant. And again, a quick review, the hemp species is a species from cannabis that has a very high CBD level and a low THC level. The legal limit of THC is 0.3% or less in the United States. So our products are organic. Our products are full spectrum, and we have a broad spectrum line. So we have a power line and we have a pure line. Our power line contains the legal limit of THC, which is 0.3% or less of THC. Now, our products are double certified and third-party validated. What does that mean? Well, they are tested before they hit your hands. They are tested for several things. They're tested for mold, mildew, pesticides. They're tested for heavy metals. They're tested to ensure that there's CBD in here, that the amount and ingredients that we say is in this bottle is really in this bottle. So our product line is a line for everyone. We have something for those who have random drug screens at their job, and we have something for those people who don't have random drug screens. So our power line is that line that has the legal limit of THC. We have something called powered by hempranium. That is a tincture. And when you hear the word tincture, That is a product that's an oil base that you place underneath your tongue and you hold it there for 1 minute. Why 1 minute? Well, 1 minute allows the oil to be absorbed in the glands, the sublingual glands underneath the tongue, so that it can get to the bloodstream within 15 to 20 minutes. This product, unlike any product on the marketplace, see, our products are unique because we have a proprietary formulation that contains certified essential oils, black seed, peppermint, and turmeric that enhance the anti-inflammatory properties of CBD. And what do we talk about when we talk about cancer? We talk about inflammation. We talk about pain. We talk about anxiety, depression, insomnia. So not only does CBD address those issues, but many more. Issues like GERD and reflux, issues like gout, inflammatory bowel disease. So this product is a great product to be used for all of the benefits that we talked about earlier that CBD can address. The special or the recommended dosing for our products, I always teach my patients, start low and start slow. The Mayo Clinic did a study. In that study, they showed even with chronic pain, you don't need a lot of CBD. You need between 2.5 and 20 to 25 milligrams of CBD on a daily dose to be effective. Now, if it's not effective at those low doses, you can increase the dose. But 3 drops in the morning and 3 drops in the evening will give you between 10 and 12 milligrams of CBD on a daily dose. Again, remember to hold the oil underneath the tongue for a minute before you swallow so that you'll get all of the full benefits of this tincture. Now, this product line, the Power product line, comes in a water soluble, which means you can put the product in water. You can put it in coffee. You know, I have everything here at the hospital. You can put it in your smoothie, your beverages, your food. Water-soluble products are great when you're on the go and you don't want to hold the oil underneath the tongue for a minute. It's great for seniors too, because senior citizens sometimes have a hard time. So easily just drop it in the water, drop it in their smoothie, and you're good to go. We have other products that you can bake and cook with. So those are exciting because everyone loves to bake cookies and brownies and infuse all of their sauces. Again, start low and start slow. 3 drops in the morning, 3 drops in the evening is all you'll need. Just another way to get CBD in your system by infusing and cooking with it. We also have gummies. Gummies are really good because each gummy is infused. That means that it is not coated. Infused gummies are more potent and they are more therapeutic to the body. These gummies are vegan, they're non-GMO, and what I love about them is that each gummy is 25 milligrams. So you theoretically could get a daily dose by just eating 1 gummy, bypassing a tincture, bypassing a water soluble, and you're good to go for the day. Again, gummies are a little different from tinctures, meaning the onset of action takes between 45 to 90 minutes to get into the bloodstream. So be patient with gummies. Don't eat the whole bag. Just eat 1 gummy, wait at least an hour to see the effects before you eat another. I can't stress enough, more is not better. When it comes to CBD, most people only need between 2.5 to 20 to 25 milligrams of CBD on a daily dose. Our other Power product, which is a great Power product, is our topical. We talked about how cancer can metastasize, how even the therapy for cancer, chemotherapy, radiation can cause nerve damage, can cause neuropathy. I love our topical because you can do a little CBD cream on a small area that can provide local relief from any symptoms of pain and inflammation. This product, again, has a proprietary formulation, meaning not only is there CBD and 0.3% or less of THC, but there are 9 other certified organic essential oils in this jar. Turmeric, black seed, arnica, eucalyptus, peppermint, menthol crystals. This is an amazing product, and because it's a topical product, it doesn't pass the blood-brain barrier. So you're able to use it without having to be concerned about your urine drug screen if you have a urine drug screen at your place of work. Our other product is our vape oil cartridge. Our vape oil cartridge, again, is unlike any vape oil cartridges that you'll see on the marketplace. Let's talk about vaping. Vaping is really a concern, right? We see there were over 13 deaths in the US, hundreds and hundreds of mysterious lung diseases that have occurred from vaping. Now, the vaping that the FDA has done sampling on those people that have gotten sick and passed away are black market vape cartridges. They are not at all Wakanna vape oil cartridges. The vapes that the FDA did sample showed rat poison, fentanyl, K2 synthetics, opioids, cannabis, vitamin E. When you heat vitamin E, it becomes toxic in the lung. Why would you use vitamin E in a vape oil cartridge? Well, a lot of companies are trying to find a cheaper way to use a carrier oil. So they use vitamin E. Unbeknownst to them, when you heat vitamin E up, it becomes very toxic to the lungs and can kill you. Our cartridges, on the other hand, at Wakanna, are sealed. You can't open them. You can't tamper with them. They are filled with CBD that is 100% organic, double certified, third-party validated, as well as they are in a carrier oil of MCT coconut oil. So a very, very safe product to vape. What I love about vaping is the onset of action. We talked about how it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for a tincture to work, same for a water soluble, 45 to 90 minutes for a gummy to work, but the onset of action of a vape cartridge is 1 minute. Within 1 to 5 minutes, you can get CBD into your system and get relief of any acute issues. That's what I love about vaping. And another thing, we stress, go low and go slow. You only need 1, maybe 3 draws on the vape to be effective. You don't need a lot. Let's move on to our broad spectrum products. Our broad spectrum products, again, are our pure products. So whenever you see a white label on our products, that means it contains less than 0.0% THC. Still contains the other cannabinoids we spoke about earlier, the CBD, CBN, CBG, all of those very important terpenes and flavonoids. But this is a product that is great for those who have random drug screens at their job. This is a water soluble. Again, you can put it in your water, you can put it in your coffee, you can put it in your smoothies, you can put it in your juice. Whatever you're eating or drinking, water solubles can go into. Really a great, effective, fast way to consume CBD. So in our product line, we have Power and we have Pure. Those are full spectrum versus broad spectrum products. Remember our topicals, which are, all of our topicals are Pure product lines. They do not pass the blood-brain barrier, so they will not show up on your drug screen at work. So there are other products that we have at Wakanna. We have a body cream, which is great because we know the skin is the largest organ in our body. Those who have undergone radiation and even chemotherapy. In fact, my aunt who underwent uterine cancer therapy, chemotherapy. After her first treatment of chemotherapy, she broke out in a horrible rash. We used CBD lotion on her skin to help decrease the inflammation from that treatment. We also have something called a CBD lube. It's great for those who are having issues with sexual dysfunction. It's a great lube for postmenopausal women who have vaginal dryness, and truly is a very great product to help as well. So we're going to now open the lines for, first we're going to open the line up for a testimony because we know that our products are very, very potent. They're very, very effective. And the testimonies are just amazing. When you have people that have issues that have truly impacted their quality of life, and they take our products and they improve and the quality of their life improves, it really is quite inspiring to me. As a physician of 30 years, I've seen so many patients that are on multiple medications that don't get any better despite the advances of medicine and technology. It's very refreshing to see hundreds and thousands of testimonies in the 3 years that I've been using CBD in my practice to improve the quality of life. So I am going to open the line, and I'm going to open the line to this amazing woman, and I'm going to find her number here, if you give me a moment, because I really want you to hear this testimony from Julia Coleman. Julia Coleman is going to tell her story about the severe extreme pain that caused her quality of life to be diminished. So let's see if I can find her, and I'm going to open the line for her to speak. Let me find her phone number here. Julia Coleman, where are you? Let's see here. And Dr. Roz, if you could let me know if she's on the line, because I'm not seeing her name here. Julia Coleman. Give me 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. Eight 326. Okay, I'll try Giovanni Coleman, and I see you. There you go. You can talk now. Thank you so much for giving your testimony, Julia Coleman. Can you hear me? Giovanni Coleman.
Hello.
There you are.
Hi. I am
Thank
so
you
excited
so
to be on
much.
the
I want you to share your testimony with all of our listeners tonight.
Yes, I will, Doctor. Thank you so much. My name, Dr. McGuire. Thank you so much for having me on the line tonight. My name is Julia Carter Coleman, and my life has miraculously been changed with the CBD products that I've been introduced to from Wakanna. They are absolutely wonderful. I have been in so much pain. I've had 2 arthroscopic surgeries. I've had steroid injections. I've had all types of shots, and they've done nothing for me but just subside the pain for a moment, and then it's back again. The last stint that I had, I was on crutches. I was going to therapy. I was not able to cook for the holiday. My daughters had to do the cooking. I had to sit around and wait. I had to have people help me up out of chairs with my movement. I haven't been able to wear my heels for the last couple of years. So I've just been completely a different person. But after being introduced to the products, I am walking. I don't need a cane anymore. I can wear my heels. I'm just so excited about the CBD. I'm a preacher, and I tell them about Jesus, and I tell them about CBD and the miraculous power, how he has healed me with these products. And I want everyone to know, you don't have to take the cortisone shots. You don't have to do all the medicines that you normally have to take to alleviate pain. I was on a leave. I was on other stronger pills, and they just bathed the pain for a moment. But now I just take my CBD and I'm happy. I'm walking free. I'm excited. I'm even losing weight. Now, I don't know if the weight element has been added to the CBD, but I am losing weight. I love to eat. It's taking my appetite away for a lot of things that my body doesn't really need, like a lot of sugar and a lot of things that are harmful for the body. I don't even desire to eat it anymore. So I'm losing weight, and I'm just so excited about everything that's happening with this CBD. And I can't introduce enough people. I was out today sharing the word about the CBD and passing out cards and just telling people my testimony, because it's real. I told them I don't have anything to lie about. I'm a minister. I tell you about Jesus, and I'll tell you about CBD. It has healed me. And I want everyone to know that they can be healed too from all the different things. But the lack of knowledge is what a lot of people are being subjected to now. And we're perishing for the lack of knowledge. We have not had this introduction. But since I've been introduced to CBD, I'm trying to introduce everyone else. And I tell you, these receptors, God explains it to me in a very elementary manner. It's like the little man goes throughout your body and connects all those loose wires that have been disconnected for so many years by so much abuse in the body, so much bad food, so many bad things that we've done to the body. So when we introduce the CBD, that little man gets real busy, and he goes all throughout the body, connecting all those different things. So I thank the Lord for Jesus introducing me to the CBD, because that little man with the CBD is working in me.
Oh, that's awesome. You know what, though? We want to know specifically which product you used.
I love the Hipporium 500. I love that. And I love that little cream.
You used
Yes, when I went to the party, I had that and some food. I had that little cream put on me. Just a little dab would do you. I looked at it. I didn't even think that it would possibly help me, but it did, because I need knee replacements on both knees. So I have an extreme problem, but I put that little cream on me. It's taken the inflammation out. My knees were so big and just ungodly looking, and now they're small, and I can even show my legs again. Also, I like having the white one where I could put in a little water. I drop that one in the water too. I put a little bottle of water, and I don't do the 16 ounce. I drink half of it, and I take the other half and drop my 3 drops in that. So I do that as well. So with those 3 products, those are my favorite. I love those. And my husband loves the gummies too. So he uses all 3 of those plus the gummies. So the gummies are very good. My sister uses the gummies. She hadn't been sleeping. She'll be 75. She has not been sleeping for a while, Ruby Baker. She takes those gummies, and honey, she is sleeping well. So I thank God that's working in her too. So all these products are phenomenal. And I just suggest that everyone's on the line, that you try the products, find the ones that actually work for your body, depending on the severity of what you have going on. There's a combination for you. Find that combination, start using them, and I guarantee you, you will be doing just as fantastic as I am doing.
Well, thank you so much for that testimony. I just want to get this straight. So you use the Power Hempranium.
Yes, I do.
Also use the topical pain relief. Yes. And you also sometimes use the water soluble.
Yes, I do. I do.
Wonderful.
I use all 3.
And so, if you're listening on the line, that is a very safe thing to do. A lot of clients will use a different method of ingestion depending on what's going on during their day, right? So the water soluble is great if you're on the run, on the move. The tincture is something that I use during the morning. Sometimes I'll use a water soluble in the smoothie, but I tell you, every single night, except when there's a lady in labor, don't want a baby being delivered, but I use a gummy. And I use a gummy because CBD works on the serotonin pathways in the brain to help us sleep. Now, if we don't sleep, our body doesn't heal. If we don't sleep in the restorative REM sleep, deep sleep, our body does not heal. So you've got to get sleep, which will help decrease inflammation. It won't wake you up in the middle of the night because you're not in pain. It will heal your body. Highly recommend those gummies at night, 45 minutes, 90 minutes before you're about to retire. But what a powerful testimony. What a powerful testimony for someone that may need more serious surgery down the line, but able to get the quality of their life back without having to undergo steroid shots, without having to, stay at home. Debilitating pain can cause the quality of someone's life to be affected. Major way can cause depression and anxiety, So all of these products, what I love to say to patients, have side benefits. You may be using the product for inflammation or pain, but you may notice that, wow, I'm sleeping better. Or now my mood is even better. And guess what? It's a vasorelaxant. My blood pressure is improving. So all of these things are important that you understand that your body is looking for CBD. She talked about the little man. I loved your analogy. Getting the body back in balance. When your body is put into balance, you start to lose weight. You start to not be anxious. You stop having inflammation in the body. All of these things occur because of the endocannabinoid system. Those receptors she spoke about is looking for CBD to put it back in balance. So I have a question about being neuroprotective. Is CBD neuroprotective? And it is. That means that when you have nerve damage, neuropathy, you have inflammation around nerves, like in glaucoma, neuropathy, even issues with strokes and the nerve generation that needs to occur after a stroke. There's studies that show that CBD is neuroprotective. With doing that and decreasing inflammation, it relieves pain. It really helps in a lot of conditions where nerve damage that is due either to trauma or due to chronic disease entities like diabetes and hypertension can be improved. If you want to put questions, you can put the questions in this little box. Should you at least be in bed on the 30-minute mark after taking gummies to help you relax, to aid in falling asleep faster? Not necessarily. Everybody metabolizes CBD differently. There's some people that actually take these gummies and they tell me that it works within 20 minutes. There's some people that it takes a full 90 minutes to get into their bloodstream. So depending on your weight, depending on your body chemistry, depending on the severity of the condition, will really depend on how your body metabolizes. So I say absolutely, at least within 30 minutes before going to bed, take your gummy. If you need to relax before, not necessary, but truly has been very helpful for me to sleep. Other question is, does it help with menopause? And what can I use for cramps and menopause headaches? Okay, so if you are menopausal, I hope you're not asking about menstrual cramps because you won't have a menstrual cycle when you're menopausal. So if you can put in the chat what you're specifically saying about cramps, but I will say my daughter, who's 21, has menstrual cramps, and she uses the topical on her abdomen during her cramps, and she also uses the tincture. So instead of using Motrin and Aleve for her menstrual cramps, she uses CBD. Does it help with menopause, and what can I use for cramps? Okay, let's talk about menopause. Menopause is a state of estrogen deprivation. Menopause causes hot flashes, mood swings, and irritability. We get very irritable, right, as menopausal women? CBD affects menopause because CBD actually has receptors in the different female organs, right? Ovaries, uterus. It also helps to modulate and balance the endocrine system. So the hormonal levels like FSH and LH that we see in menopause that are very high FSH levels. It also will address the symptoms of menopause: irritability, hot flashes, and mood swings. Again, it does that through the endocannabinoid system, putting not only the endocrine and the hormonal levels back in balance, but actually helping the serotonin pathways to help us sleep, and actually helping all of those other symptoms that we have during menopause. Now, I'm not understanding about cramps, but maybe you're talking about menstrual cramps in premenopausal women. Yes, CBD has been very helpful in decreasing inflammation and pain and working as an analgesic to address cramps. Again, my daughter uses the topical on her abdomen and uses the tincture. Instead of using Motrin and Aleve for cramps, she uses CBD. I have uterine fibroids with a lot of clotting. Can CBD help? CBD has been shown to decrease and to help symptoms that are due to uterine fibroids. What are the symptoms? Severe cramps, heavy bleeding. Because CBD is an analgesic and an anti-inflammatory, it's very useful in dealing with symptoms of uterine fibroids. Are there any studies that show that CBD shrinks or removes fibroids? I have not found any of those studies, but many, many studies that show that CBD addresses the symptoms that uterine fibroids have. That is decreasing bleeding and decreasing pain and cramps. Can you please explain some of the benefits of CBD with patients that may have had a stroke? Well, studies have shown that if you can get the CBD into your body immediately after having a stroke, that it will help to improve the nerve regeneration of those that have had a stroke. So it's important to know that some of that, the therapy that people receive when they have had a stroke is they may have or may be put on a blood thinner, Coumadin or warfarin. That's why it's really important that whenever you're dealing with someone that's just had a stroke and you want to give them CBD, you want to make sure that you talk to the physician, the treating physician at the hospital, before you give your loved one CBD. But the studies show, hands down, that it improves the recovery in those, it improves the nerve regeneration in those who have had a stroke. Is it good for liver disease? Well, we know that the receptors in the endocannabinoid system are found in the liver. Studies show that CBD is helpful in those with cirrhosis of the liver, fibrosis of the liver. Those studies you can find very easily on the internet. So yes, the studies show that CBD can be helpful in those who have liver disease. We have 1 more minute before 9 o'clock. If you have any questions, you can put it right here in the chat. Well, if there's no other questions, you can always reach me. I'm going to put in my email, Dr. Rita Mac @yahoo.com, for any further questions. But what you want to do is, if you're a guest on the line, You want to contact the person that invited you this evening. You want to get your questions answered, and you want to get your products ordered. You want to do that tonight, and you want to do it tonight because you want to get started with a very potent, safe, and organic, double certified, third-party validated product that has truly helped so many clients with so many symptoms that CBD addresses. Now, we started off this evening talking about breast cancer, and I want to really impress upon you, if you know someone that has breast cancer and you're on the line, make sure they get this recording. I'll have the recording available on our Facebook page, but you want to get the information out there because there's so many people that are going through therapy that don't need to suffer. They don't need to suffer with nausea and vomiting. They don't need to suffer with pain. They don't need to suffer with anxiety and depression and insomnia. All of these things, those who have cancer or diagnosed with cancer suffer with. There is something that can help them with that, that's holistic, that's organic, and that it's safe. Again, I want to thank you for attending this webinar. Each and every week, we have a different topic. So you can email me your topic that you may want to hear in the near future, and I absolutely will cover that topic. Thank you again, Giovanni, for that amazing testimony, Ms. Coleman, Pastor Coleman, Minister Coleman. Thank you for that testimony. And I want to make sure that you understand whoever invited you on the line tonight, they love you. They love you, and they want you to understand that this information needs to be shared with others that you love as well. So we'll see you next Wednesday night, same Zoom line, same link, but different topic. Make it an amazing night. And again, remember to contact the person that invited you on the line so you can get your questions answered and you can get your products ordered. And of course, there's my email, drritamac@yahoo.com. You can reach me for further questions that you may have. And join our Facebook Live or our Facebook group. It's Wakanna for Life. It's a great group to join so you can stay connected with all of the things that we're doing in the cannabis industry. Good night.